services to locate addresses. It will also enhance service delivery. The program will also follow what has become an increasing wave of violence against law enforcement officers. It's a democratic society that we have here, but we have a system of governance. Law enforcement officers have a duty to enforce the law, regardless of who you are. A couple of weeks ago, it was law enforcement officer being harassed, assaulted, and then just 2 days ago, we saw another video circulating where somebody who is supposed to be a clergywoman is physically assaulting law enforcement. Now, when you do that, what message do you send to your congregation? It's just wrong, because wearing that uniform, that person represents the authority of the state, and they have got the right, the discretionary power to restrain your movement and to establish probable cause for the commission of an offense. A law enforcement officer comes to try to enforce his duty, and all you can do is to begin to assault him. My law enforcement officer, they got guns. They are human beings. What will you say of a law enforcement officer who is assaulted without hit with proportional force? In fact, all the bloggers will start posting it. They put even bother with a bad day. But when somebody check your phone on Broad Street, the first person you call are the police. Now the same police you call when armed robber comes to your house at night. The same police you will disrespect, you will assault, you will insult on camera. You need to have respect for.
To remain calm and patient in preparation for all contingencies, as we expect that the appeal and the Supreme Court could go either way. The CDC is in the process of making arrangement for an orderly transition to a new national headquarters in the event where all our legal options have been exhausted. The Congress for Democratic Change reiterates its unwavering commitment to the rule of law. This is a principle it upholds critically as a former ruling party and a key stakeholder in Liberia's collective well-being. Over the last 1 year, the CDC has engaged in negotiation with the owners
It's another day in the nation's capital, Monrovia, and we've come to talk about the issues that matter. And of course, we are always here to making sure that it is done the perfect way. You know, it is not easy to become, balanced in Liberia, but we tried our best. We also encourage you to visit our Facebook page, KCN TV Online on Facebook, and on YouTube, it's Kear Communications Network or Kear Network. On X, formerly Twitter, is Kear Communications Network or Kear Network as well. So welcome, folks, wherever you are. Today is the 21st day of the month of July, and the year is 2026. We have a few more days to our Independence Day celebration, marking Liberia's 179th independence. And of course, we are grateful that we have strived as a country to reach thus far. Yeah, welcome. And it has been a while, and of course, I'm back. Let's do it together. My name is Morris Desmond Brown. Of course, I'm your usual presenter of the program, Inside Liberia. It comes your way every weekday, Mondays to Friday. And of course, I'm always here, sitting in the presenter's seat. I love to call it the hot seat. So let's welcome all of you, our viewers, our listeners, and all of that. If you're in District Number 1 up to my lovely District 17, Moserado County, it's just perfect to say welcome to all of you. If you're in Bombing, Bapulu, and Cape Mount, Western Belt. If you're in Nimba, Bonk. If you're in Grambassa, Magibi County. Well, it is good to welcome you as well. Share the video so others can join. Leave your comments. Leave your comments live. We'll read them out for you. This is why we are here. So yes, I'm here until 5:55. You are there. Let's have it. Let's do it together. Yeah, it is a perfect moment for us to continue to talk about our country. Too many things are happening. Liberia is on the edge. Whether we are retrogressing or progressing, only you can say. But we are on the edge. Either the edge to fall or the edge to progress. However, we have a lot to talk about. Too many things to talk about here. So join us if you can. Tell a friend to just join us and tell another friend that we are here. We've come to give you all of the breaking news and all of the things you got to hear on radio. So yes, until 5:55, let's do it together. Too many things to talk about. Let's take a line of our team song. We'll be back just in the jiffy. Don't go away.
Bapodingana pakolaka zote koma sembe sembe okopetengana zoka lobina swa maladi ya cancer lobitango na popola yo kiminga ye baru na lemie baru na baye.
Okay, welcome back, and it is just a great way to welcome all of you. Too many things are happening. We're glad that we can talk about these things as well. Yeah, and Liberia's independence is just right around the corner. This is what it is. That is what it is, and we will do all our best to give you all of the breaking news as well. So you can join us live on our Facebook feed on KCN TV. Of course, we are there live. You can join us. It is very important. Very good. Very good. And let's begin with the weekend. Over the weekend, there was a bit of clash between the police and that of residents of our district number 13. According to what we've heard, the police have gone to effectuate an eviction notice. That was given by the court, and that became a very serious tension. It brought about very serious tension between the police and that of residents of battery factory and other places around the Japan freeway. It stopped traffic for an hour plus. And some of the videos we saw were not good at all. You know, this is what we say every time when we see these things. We cry in Liberia that we want investment. We want investors to come to the country. We want things to happen. We want jobs. But when an investor sees down in Liberia and look at police and citizens are in the clash, that creates serious political stalemate. And you find people better moving. Major activities come to a momentary standstill. And you expect an investor who is serious for investment will rather intend in his mind to come and invest in Liberia. No, it is difficult. It's like you're putting an elephant through a needle hole. That's how difficult it is. Because investors look for a country walking towards decorum, a country walking towards perfection. No country is perfect, but working towards perfection. A country's judicial system that is not being polarized. A country's judicial system that is not being weaponized. So an investor look for some of these great attributes of a country before thinking of getting his or investment in that particular country. Electricity, power. But the rule of law becomes a subject at the top. It becomes a place in the picking order for an investor to pick. To say, yeah, I want to invest, but when these things are happening, I believe the country is edging towards conflict. Why should I carry my investment to that country? So these informed decisions will rather deter an investor from investing in a country. I don't know how the courts in the country are actually judging cases of land cases in the country. Because one person will stay all of the time in America, stay all of the time overseas, and then the person return to only go to the court and say, this parcel of land, this stretch of land, from this end to this end belong to me. It belonged to my family, lineage, people from my my great-grandparents. And the court goes ahead, gave ruling, gave a verdict, and asked that people be evicted. Some people have stayed on that land for over 40, 50 years. Some people have lived all their life, to those places. I'm not saying it is a wrong thing to give ownership of land that should be given to the rightful owner. No, that's not what I'm saying. But sometimes it's good to look at the condition, look at the situation. Are the decisions that are being made in land cases granted by law? What do our law says about land ownership, duration, and all of that? What are we doing in order to better, understand what the law says about land ownership, criminal conveyance of land, and all of those things? I recommend a strong conversation, a strong dialogue, if not a community-based approach towards land settlement in our country. It is very necessary. If we cannot do these things, we'll have problems everywhere. Coupled with what the president will say, that God is not making no new land. All of these things are contributing to the land crisis we're seeing, that are escalating every day. The last time I checked, around the relay, bandits, and I want to call them that name. Bandits took weapons, cutlasses, machetes, and they were standing on a land, defying whosoever that will come near that land. We got to reach a point where we can start to look at these land crises that are continuously causing political stalemate in our country. People took machetes around the railway belt. They were speaking all kinds of things, all emanated from land crisis. What are we doing to settle these land matters that are coming before the courts? We need a strong dialogue. We need an explanation, community-based explanation on land acquisition, land ownership, and all of that. That thing that took place on the Somalia Drive, or the Japan Freeway as it is now called, that thing is a serious, bad, negative reflection on the country. So we got to reach a point where if it costs us to have dialogues, Palawa hot meetings in communities and educate our people on land acquisition, land ownership, and all of that, we need to do so. But no investor will come to Liberia with all of these things that are happening and passing over. These are excess baggages. And an investor will just see this as a burden to investing in Liberia. They are excess baggages. And I think to make that place on Saturday look like a war zone, that was quite unusual. It was very unnecessary. We need to have a deeper dialogue, a deeper conversation, a deeper understanding of the law regarding land issue in our country. I foresee problem in our society with these land issues that continue to emanate from communities. Eviction everywhere. Let's move on. At 5 o'clock, we'll talk about the new drug bust. I'm told over 175 million US dollars. If the value is put right, some people are putting it at 190 million drug bust that has been discovered around the Rabas International Airport Highway. That is around the VOA area on the highway. We'll talk about that at 5 o'clock, but there are a few things that are happening and that need to be talked about. Today, the court handed down ruling in 2 major cases. And these 2 major cases were highly anticipated. They were cases Liberians were actually waiting for to hear and listen to the verdicts that would come out. The first case was the case involving former executive mansion protocol to the president, Madam Nora Finabono, who has had case at the court. She filed the first bond. It was challenged by the asset retrieval and property tax force or whatever it is, ARET. They challenged the first bond. In a video that went viral, Madam Bondo was in a video saying her own people wanted her to go to jail. In fact, some people that she actually laid her life down for wanted to see her go to jail, but thank God she didn't go to jail. She heaped praises on Deputy Speaker Thomas Fala, the President of the Republic of Liberia, President Joseph Newman Boakai, and then she mentioned Senator Nathaniel Fallow McGill. That video took a trend. A lot of people on social media criticized the former executive mansion, protocol to the president, Madam Finabondo. A lot of people on Facebook said her statement was premature. It wasn't that time she should have made such a statement. There were criticism everywhere. Everybody criticized. Everybody said what they wanted to say. Right after the burial of her father, Tuesday today, the court handed down ruling in the second bond that was filed, because the first bond was challenged and the judge gave 72 hours for the filing of another bond. There are a few things fundamentally wrong with some of the things that are happening. Firstly, you have people who were indicted along with Madame Bono in this particular case, that the asset retrieval and property tax force or whatever it is. And some of the defendants have been able to file around $2.something million bond, and it was accepted. Why are you requesting an $8 million bond from Finabono? Why are you requesting $8 million from Finabono? $8 million bond. Well, it is a legal thing that must be talked about. It's a legal matter that must be talked about. Maybe the lawyers know exactly what it is. Why are they requesting such a huge bond from Madam Bono? But on today, Judge Usuma Fekai handed down a ruling into the bond challenge case that was filed before the judge. For more indication, they went through the argument, view all of the legality of the bond, and they said that particular bond that was filed has been used in several other cases that are currently pending before the courts. And so it was not valid. It's not a valid bond to be used. And so the judge then ordered the immediate arrest of Nora Finabono. And after which, Madam Bono, hearing of the arrest warrant that was out for her, she immediately drove to the Monrovia Central Prison, where she turned over herself willingly to the authorities, and she was escorted to prison. Now, I believe that legal matters should be handled legally. The bond was challenged. My only issue I have with the entire case is the fact that other defendants, they've been able to file $2.1 million, $2.3 million bond before the court accepted. Why is it difficult for Madam Bono to, for her bond to be accepted? Why are you even levying a bond of $8 million on a defendant in a case that several other defendants have been able to file far more less than what she is supposed to file? It is a question that maybe legal pundits could answer. So Madam Bono was taken into prison. She's on pre-trial detention now as we speak. And of course, Liberia, I don't know, we're getting there. But trust me, she's in prison. Until there is a newborn that will be fired, she will remain beyond bars until born about $8 million US, I'm told. My question is, why should Fina alone? This case is not an involvement of only Fina. There are other people who were indicted as well for same charges. They've been able to file $2.1 million, $2.3 million bond, valid bond. Why are you requesting $8 million US bond from Fina Bono? That's a big question that the government needs to answer, or the court need to answer. So as we speak, Madam Nora Fina Bono is behind bars at the Monrovia Central Prison. What is worth noting is that and the truth be told, there have not been much of the CDC in all of this. When I say there have not been much of the CDC in all of this, is the approach of the CDC towards officials of the past administration. And the government has somehow succeeded in silencing the CDC, because all of those who are supposed to talk for the CDC, who are supposed to be in the forefront to talk for the CDC, the government is squeezing them into a corner, holding them towards some legal case, holding them to some other reports, and all kinds of different things. So the CDC is at this point voiceless. Besides, people who support the CDC that call on the radio, Concerned Liberian for Justice, they are the ones speaking out. They are the ones talking. The real people in the CDC will not talk because most of them have other reports hanging on their heads. Whether the other reports are authentic, whether the other reports are legit, but the government is using those other reports to silence these people from talking. And that landmark case today, everybody in the country saw it. And they saw Madam Bono turning herself over officially to the court, to the prison authorities, driving there and asked the sheriff to bring her writ. And the brother she signed, and she wouldn't enter South Beach. The next case was the juror tampering case that was handed, the ruling was handed down today. This juror tampering case, for me as a journalist, I see this entire case as being political. And I'm saying this without any fear nor favor. And it's just the reality. The entire case is a case of political witch hunt. And the law speaks about double jeopardy. If you read our legal jurisprudence, it talks about double jeopardy. You cannot try a person for a case that he was already vindicated for, set free, and you're going back to retry that case after a juror verdict. Now, do you know why? There are two types of trials. They have the bench trial and the juror trial. Two major trials anyway. most people would likely go for a jury trial because a jury trial is normally a trial without any contestation. After the jurors gave their verdict, that verdict is almost final. It's almost final. As compared to a bench trial where the judge is solely responsible to hand down verdict, but his verdict can be challenged, can be overturned by a higher court. In the jury trial, it's not easily done. So a lot of people would like jury trial, though it's difficult because sometimes the jury trial, when you are nailed, you are nailed. But here is what has happened over the last few months. And we all talk about investors. Investors should come to the country. Everybody wants to work. Everybody wants to see a Liberia where people are working. But an investor will not see what is happening in the country where laws are being turned in the favor of people who wanted to be turned in their favor. And that person will still be brave. He will muster the bravery and the courage, the temerity to say, I'm going to invest in Liberia in spite of all that I've heard. I'll stay invest in Liberia. Nobody wants to take risk. You don't want to risk your investment. And these are the things that set the boundaries for people dislike about a system that could crumble at any time. This jury tampering case is just one of the few I've seen in recent years of a political maneuvering to see a particular person down. This is just what it is. The case involving Samuel Twe, former finance minister, and several other persons went to trial. And the jurors handed down a non-guilty verdict for few of the defendants. And one or two of them were giving a hanking verdict or a hank verdict. And for all indication, after the jurors have gone, because once the case is done, the jurors hand down ruling, they are disbanded, they are asked to go home. So they go back in the community, return to their various areas of job, because most often these people who serve as jurors are actually in the government cycle. They normally work for government, they are in the civil service and all of that. Now, my question about juror tampering is just so straight. How can jurors be tampered with when they were in the custody of the government? Who paid the jurors? It is the government that pays the juror. Where are the jurors kept? Under whose jurisdiction are the jurors kept? They are kept under the government's jurisdiction. Who have access to the juror? It's only the government. How is juror tampering done? So the government is saying in this case that the jurors were tampered while they were under the custody of the government. It means we have a big problem with security. Because where the jurors are being kept is secret, is heavily guided by security officers who are armed. How is it possible for jurors to be tampered with? So when you look through all of what I've said and you microscope it, you will understand that there are a few political maneuverings that are being charted here. And until we can get to the point where we can stop to do the things that we're doing backward and start to focus on doing the things rightly, we will not get it done the right way. Juror tampering? Did the government say, or is the government saying that the jurors were tampered with while they were in custody of the government, while they were under the supervision of the government? What happened to the case involving a woman who was accused, according to her, she said she admired the dress code of the Solicitor General. In fact, it was alleged that the Solicitor General and this woman who was the head of the jurors somehow, are in some sort of relationship. None of those allegations. And somehow these are the same very people who went back to the court and said they were tampered with. Few of them. So today the judge handed down ruling in the Samuel Twelve juror tampering investigation. The judge said they have proof now because they were filmed in where the jurors were. Who took the film there? The jurors were under the protection, under the guidance and supervision of the government. How did they get filmed to where they were? The government were being seen there, so it means they were tampered with, they were communicating while they were under the supervision of the government. So if anybody should be blamed in this case, it should be the government taking responsibility of not performing her duty adequately in making sure that security is tightened, that the people there are protected, that there will be no sort of interaction or whatsoever that will slip in. So the government should take blame here. But instead, Judge Usman Feka said, all of the jurors that were on the case, they asked these people to appear before the court today. All of them were there. They all dressed up, left their offices, they had to go. And they were all asked to be arrested. So all 15 jurors were arrested after the judge handed down ruling and said that the Samuel 12 case will go back to trial, that the non-guilty verdict has been turned and there will be a retrial of the case. Look, Liberia is slipping down the slippery path gradually. We are getting down a slippery road when it comes to our democracy. When it comes to litigation in our country, we are slipping gradually. And these things that we say every day, people think that it is just about politics. No. 15 jurors. Out of the 15, 9 or so handed down a non-guilty verdict on a particular person. And you found a way somehow to say they were juror tampering. Today, the 15 jurors were handcuffed, taken to Monrovia Central Prison. What is next? I don't know. 12 lawyers are far. They've said they will file in to the Supreme Court to resist the verdict coming from the judge. But this is what Samuel 12 wrote a few minutes ago. Now we read it verbatim for you, and then we will finally digest it. Okay. Let me look for Mr. Twes. Okay. Let me look for what former Minister Tue wrote. Okay, this is what former Minister Tue wrote, and I'll read for you verbatim. He said, today, Liberian justice and democracy took a gigantic step backwards. But men are prepared to resist this slide into anarchy. No judge, no justice, and no president can ever change my non-guilty verdict. It is inch in the history of our country. The kangaroo fears handed down today is just that, a kangaroo ruling. I have instructed my legal team that my legal journey has since ended with my verdict, and I will not submit myself to any Supreme Court process. As such, they will find nothing before the Supreme Court. We have left the law and are now in the full realm of politics. I remain a free man. Samuel D. Tue Jr., the fearless global warrior. This is what he wrote. Now, a few days ago, former Minister Samuel Tue alleged that his brother has had a conversation. The brother had a conversation with the judge. And the judge said some things. Let me play you that audio quickly before we move on. Let me play you that audio. What did Honorable Tue say concerning what his brother told him? This is not it. And look for where Samuel Tue. So this. Okay.
Told my lawyer brother. I cried in front of my lawyer brother. My brother Norris went to see him.
You talk about Councilor Norris Tue, right? Did he say lawyer brother? Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, he's my lawyer. He went to see the judge. The judge told him, he said, Norris, this country is weak. I don't know what Samuel Tue did.
And who said that? Fiaka?
George Fiaka. He said that. He said people are after his life is in danger, and he doesn't know what's going. He cried. That was then. The day I posted about 2-3 weeks ago, they sent for my brother again and said, Norris, I regret to announce that unfortunately I will have to overturn your brother's verdict. And my brother said, but Karen and I spoke 3 weeks ago. You were talking something different. He said, well, the good thing is that Samuel Tue and none of his lawyers are involved in any jury tampering. Well, I do have evidence that there was a phone. And so since there was a phone, well, there was phone there, whether Samuel Tue put it there, Samuel Tue put it there, whether Fire put it there, Fire put it there, there's a ground for dismissing the case. I said, no, you can't do that. And I want to know he's talking to different people. When we're in the government, we're having conversation, and I think it will be okay for Tue. The judge wants to do the right thing, but I think he's not strong enough to resist the government because the government pressure is overwhelming.
If these things are true from what I've just played, and that manifestation of it was seen today, that the judge came down with just the same ruling. This recording is far older, is some few days older than where we are today. And the judge came down with the same verdict that Samuel Tue has explained that his brother, Norris Tue, was being told by the judge, Usman Fekai. Now look, your brother, non-guilty verdict will be overturned because there are higher ups, there are people who are threatening me and all of that. So good thing is that your brother and his lawyer are not, there's no something to link them that they were part of any jury tampering, but there was a phone formed. And just almost similar to what the judge ruled today. So they arrested all the 15 jurors. They are behind bars as we speak. Now, look. At this point, the government will have to speak. Once they speak, is it just about Samuel 12 or is it about the law? Because there were other people who were part of this case. It was not just Samuel 12. How is everything that we're saying to the court now is just tied around former Minister Samuel 12? Look, at this point, I'm here sitting and thinking what our country is turning into. The courts, if this thing that I've just played is true to go back, the court should not be used as a place to settle personal scores. It should not be used as a place to settle duels. We have to reach a point where we can allow the law to take its course. That's why they said the law is blind. So it's going to spend, you're going to take the government extra cash to put another juror team together, spend some money to keep them on the ground or keep them sacred, just for a single man. Now, Samuel 12 has written that he's not going to subject himself to any other investigation. Any other thing going to court is not a part of it because he was giving a non-guilty verdict. He's not going to go back to court to do anything there. His non-guilty verdict stands according to him, and he's not going back on anything. He has instructed his lawyers not to file any case to the Supreme Court, that they have left the court now and it is now in the realm of politics, and they're going to take it politically head on. Is that what the government of Liberia wants? Is that what the government of the day want to see? A state of anarchy? So what do you say to all of these things happening in the country? The Finabono case, the issue of juror temperament. Today, 15 of the jurors, all of them went to jail. Where are we? Let's open the lines and hear from you on the first segment. I told you the final segment at 5. We'll look at other issues. Major among those issues will be the issue of the drug bust. $100 and some more $1 million worth of drug was discovered today. What is Liberia turning into? We'll look at all of that and all of it. So, but let's take calls on the first segment. 0777 959 959 0777 959 959. Let's take calls now. Edmond Carr is here. The first call.
Thank you, my dear brother. This is Edmond Carr. I remain the visually impaired and pushing for the return of president. We are probably more concerned Liberian for just to Fina, I take courage. That spike of what she said briefly the last time during her father's funeral, one way or the other, it could be out of frustration or some promises that were made to her a form of a rap from the government, and are not trying to be that way. Who knows? To be in the case of Julius Ascara, that turned over Jesus. So for Jesus had turned up over. Because if you give her the assurance, the father, that this is my own, and here we are, she is going back and forth with bomb issue, and she came up with a statement. The current bond that was rejected again, my understanding is that it's another CDC man that gave her that bond, or Kai Fale, or Grand Jada County, for former superintendent, and seeing all of the party officials that day in the funeral, and then that statement was made. In my mind, it was just based on some, behind the scene discussion. But here we are going to be in prayer with her. I listened to our last talking point before going in jail, that they God take charge. She trusts in God, and we'll be in prayer with her. We pray that he will get okay. to Samuel 12. Samuel 12 is a free man. I'm not even worrying about that. Because the thing is clear. You don't do this to your country. Like I was saying on one of their platforms this morning, this government is looking at the American government to give them support from the Millennium Challenge. And one of the main things the Millennium Challenge focus on is the rule of law. So if you are coming up with all these kinds of things, how possible will it be for you to get that Millennium Challenge to be able to fast track your development that you want to fast track? Samuel 12 will let go. Jura went into the community. If all the proceeding was going on, they were happy in the case of Fonati and others, because they said one of the jurors said something, it didn't go down well with the prosecuting team. And the jury was disbanded. They were all disbanded. There were no question, there were no argument about it. Up to present, we say, I'm still waiting for that case to start. But this one, the case ended. It was only left for the certification of Samuel 12. The jury went into the community. 3 of them come back to the court and said they were tampered with. Amen. So the question now we are asking, if they do have phone with them, who took the phone there? How come? When they were under the jurisdiction of Liberia. So the United Party people are celebrating because they said there will be a retrial, but they forget to know that there's going to be a long run. Because since the beginning of the government decided the 12K, we are now into the 3 year. Now we are going back again. You know how long it's going to take you? The money that you're going to take to use, you can send it to the hospital, you can send it to the school, instead of you wasting your time on one person. Samuel 12 is a free man. We are now out of court. We are going to engage it politically. Thank you, my dear brother.
Thank you. Let's take more calls. 0777 959 959. 0777 959 959. Let's hear you.
Desmond, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Pap.
How are you?
Thanks for asking.
Desmond, I'm getting scary.
Why?
Because there will not be any real justice in Liberia again. Even jurors will be intimidated. Jurors will not be free to run their decision. So anybody going to call us for now, you should expect that you will be a veteran. Even when you are winning, you will be a veteran because jurors will not be brave to run a real decision that is supposed to run. Because if they run a real decision that you are not guilty, see what you are talking that they were handcuffed and be placed behind bar. So will I be free to get verdict on what I know that is not true? Oh, Liberia is very slippery. To be fair, thank you, Desmond. Thank you very much for the program.
Okay, thanks so kindly for being a part. 0777 959 959. 0777 959 959. 0777 959 959. What do you make of what has happened today in all of the cases, juror tampering case that was handed down, the issue of Madam Findanora Bondo, Aliu, come on, let's hear you. Good evening, my brother.
Thank you. Let me commend you for a wonderful program. Desmond, our country wins a stage that we always pray for our country. So every time government go, there's no you and myself complain correction. And one thing I made a country not going anywhere. Other people just come from the Blanza. People are not going to pay rent yesterday. There's no time. You see, it start owning big property around the country. And because you and myself will not get an opportunity maybe to work in any one of the government offices, and maybe you and myself will not achieve. Even if you put a private business for your business to grow, it's difficult. Because why? The people that in government, they just corrupting the system. For example, you're talking about Samuel, my brother. 12 when they see me, before the judge head down the ruling, 12 when he put that t-shirt. He put that t-shirt, as soon as the judge head down the ruling, that very day they wore t-shirt. Why is it now the see judge he trusted yesterday? Why now he trust that judge? Or because he know that what went on, like the judge they talk about, the temple of the judge, because according to the judge, he said the evidence part of the temple of the judge are true. So because you know that the government are going to, the judge are going to hand down the ruling for the government, they come out here accusing the bad president, how the bad president they want, now we see the bad president fighting for 2029. So any bad president in a competition, so I ever run for any representative or senator or president position or bad president position in the country. So he had to look for different things to do. The only thing you do, like, unless you're a lawyer, like they take it flat to the Supreme Court, that's the best thing to do. Because let me tell you this, nobody, the country bigger than everybody, even the bankers are supposed to country bigger than. I can tell anybody for free. Even the government will not the government will find anybody in the government, a terror, any corruption, amen. The government prosecuted, the government will can't pay them up. Prosecute you. Let me just somewhere today or tomorrow so that we are saying we see our country before. Thank you very much.
Thank you. 077-959-959. We're still taking calls on the first segment. What do you think of what's happening in the country, especially with all of these things through a tempering and all of that? Let's take more calls. Patient Gray, welcome.
Yeah, how you doing? Tell me more.
Patient Gray, let's hear you.
My brother, I want to ask. So the government, when they put Senator in jail, when Senator go to jail, then the Guinness that the brother will remove from there. The Boginam B will go back Boginam Faso. Or when they put Senator in jail, they draw come and say they will take away again. Why would the government do? Why would the government do, my brother? Go get help. They just issue a deal. They're not talking about it. After Senator to go to jail. When someone goes to jail, why would you call that job? The Guinness will move on one day. Because I want to know. They're cooking without a right in the country again anymore. When someone go to jail, the government is sending a danger part. I'm telling you. The government is sending a danger part. They're trying on me to post on in jail. And we say that the Marco has died. You know, all the bad things in the country, the Marco has died. It's danger about society. It's danger. So, and then Jews come back tomorrow. When someone go to jail, when Jews come back, what will the government do? Thank you for this great opportunity.
Okay, thank you for being a part as well. Let's take more calls. 077-959-959. 077-959-959 is the number. Those of you on online, you can call us up on +231 777-959-959 is our WhatsApp number. Let's take more calls. This person is off. 077-959-959. Vanessa's Junior Bar has joined us. He says he's watching from Newtown. Thanks for following as well. Let's keep our calls coming in. What do you make of what has happened today? These issues, juror tempering, jurors going to jail and all of that. Let's take more calls. This person, let's hear you. Hello?
Good afternoon, my dear brother.
Yeah, good afternoon. Let's hear you.
Thank you for the second point. My name is Abraham Foko, and I'm calling you from District 3 Montreal County.
Let's hear you, my dear brother.
My brother, thank you. One of the trending news that we are all following today, Liberia come first. Our constitution provides that our country, Liberia, is a country of God, not, by the will of men. If it is left by the will of men, then Liberia will be back to the old days that will all suffer and stay, feeling and, the things that we all went through. But also what is happening today, let us give the chance to those who are in authority. The law must supersede every individual. It is not about affiliation, whether you're a member of this party or not, whether you are an associate of this body or not. If the justice system is working hard to bring law that every one of us would live to be and enjoy, let us follow it. Let us bury our ego. For once, why people should continue to criticize those things they are seeing vividly that the government is making effort in making sure that our country should come to normality. After what we see us as a country of law, that investors will be attracted. Then we see people, because of affiliation, because of connection, they will look at the reality and bend it. For once, so I beg the media institution, for any connection with anybody, let us preach the breadfruit news that they will see. Let us balance their decision, let us balance their report. That those who are listening, those who have ears and sound reason will listen well and tend to praise you, the media people. But some media institutions, you listen to them, you don't know them anymore. So be real.
Okay.
But thank you to you guys, for those of you actually doing the right thing. May God continue to bless you guys. Okay. Thank you so much. I'm Foko again.
Thank you. Donzo, Mohammed.
Yeah. Good evening, Mr. Brown.
Yeah, good afternoon, Donzo.
Okay. Well, Mr. Brown, thank you for your talking point this evening. Well, Mr. Brown, I want to say this to this government. My name is Mohammed Donzo Fofana Jr., a proud member of Concerned Liberian for Justice. Well, Mr. Brown, I just want to educate this government today because We are in 2 years now. We cannot see any tangible development, any good improvement of our people. All we see is demonstration. All we see is citizens going against police, And Mr. Barker is not thinking all of these things. Then he's just running behind, his opponents. That is not good. You said yesterday that you kind of rescue the Liberian people, that people are suffering, and then you come in on this platform doing, different thing. Just wish fronting your friend, pressing, that is not good. Mr. Barker, you said that you have 42 years of experience in government. So what we are seeing these days in our countries is quite different, because nothing we are seeing in this government. To be frank, this government, the entire country is starving. And can hear somebody come say, let give the government chance, let it do the justice. The justices are always bought by the government. Mr. Barker has manipulated the justice system. And somebody come here tell me that the justice system is doing well in this country. Did you ever read the report for Liberia? The 2025 report. So somebody come on this platform, Mr. Barker and his people. Can you imagine today voting? It tells you that this government it have nothing for the Liberian people. They just want to put this entire country in chaos, But we pray God we will not do any other things in this country that will leave it on the citizens, or the citizens that do this thing. We will allow Mr. Barker to rule this country. And you say you're competent to rule it abroad, you will be competent of ruling this country, because you said that you have 42 years of experience, and now your entire nation is going apart. You do not have any reconciliation in the things in your mind. Mr. Barker, you need to do something better for this country. Okay. You are an old man, so you got to do better thing. Okay. We're not fighting. This is not hatred for a fellow human. The ruling has always.
Okay, Fofana, thank you. You made your point already. Just maybe repeat it now. Let's take more calls. This person, let's hear you.
Hello, Desmond.
Yeah.
How are you, man?
Well, thanks for asking. How do you do?
Yeah, thank you for your talking points. I'm working from the corner from Maserati.
Let's hear you, Mr. Family.
Yeah, okay. You had so many talking points today, but concerning the drugs,
the drugs will be talked about shortly. We didn't talk about the drugs. Yeah, we'll talk about that shortly.
Okay, let me let that go over now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. Concerning the Samuel 12 case, look, according to the information, Samuel 12 lawyers and himself did not plan anything among the jurors. Those actions were premeditated by the government lawyers. You getting me? They planted those things that in case Senator win, so they will bring it out to at least to turn down the verdict. But let me be honest with you. Everything that is going on in this country, the people are looking at it. The same thing that happened doing how you call it, the CDC time where Gloria Mususka was placing J and Dick and they got making the power to release Gloria Mususka. I mean, it will happen. It will happen because I'm not sure that this government, this party will retain power in 2029. I'm not too sure, because imagine you want CDC with less than 1%, and see all of the propaganda that went through all the electoral period. You want CDC with less than 1%. So CDC is much stronger now. Imagine all of those people that are disenchanted today. Even some people that went on the street to protest against this government are some of those people that voted for this government, but they are disenchanted today. So my point is that let it do what it's doing, but the time will tell. And secondly, to the Finabono case, Finabono, do not be detailed, because for me, I know that justice will take its course. Okay. But you were so lenient. I don't know what got you in your mind to say what you did. I mean, to do what you did at the funeral, because you know that President Weah was represented by the former Prime Minister, and you were acknowledging people. You did not acknowledge him. I mean, you don't that your own is your own. You see, you also President Joseph Barker when he ran a project that was initiated by CDC, and he acknowledged CDC. He never do it. He never did it. So people talking about vindictiveness is Joseph Barker, not President Weah. President, we are nothing against that woman. Yeah.
Okay.
So thank you and have a God bless day.
Okay, let's take more calls. This person, let's hear you.
Good evening, my dear brother.
Good evening, Wa.
Thank you very much. My name is Wa Kotopia, and I call from my Jakarta resident.
Let's hear you.
The first thing is, when you make it look like the government has surreptitious motive, or they are bent on ensuring that Samuel 12 goes to jail by any means, I take serious exception to that. Now, to the issue. When the jurors were disbanded, it was not the government that told one or two of the jurors to go and confess. One or two of the jurors themselves went and confessed that they were tampered with. Then somebody want to come and shift the blame on government. So in that case, you don't expect for investigation to go on. And number two, today, the ruling that came out, it says that jurors were tampered with, and that the GSM company, they were subpoenaed, and they confirmed that there were cause. And you know it is prohibited for jurors to have cell phones in the juror room. So let me ask you a question. Who were taking care of the jurors? The jurors were being taken care of by state security. Okay. But it is possible.
Let's take it easy. Let's take it easy. And now the state security are taking care of the jurors?
Of course.
How did the phone or whatsoever slipped in?
It's possible.
Yeah, I'm not saying not possible. How did it slip in when there was security?
It's possible. It's possible somebody can hide it from somewhere that you are unable to put your hand. It's possible.
No. The poor luggages are checked before they enter. They are checked. The females are checked by females. Males are checked by males before they even go to where they are supposed to be staying. So how did the phone slip there?
Oh, my brother, it has been established that.
No, not my issue about whether it was established.
It has been established.
No, my issue is not with whether it has been established or not. My issue is how did the phone or how was the juror tampering done when there was state security? These jurors were in the full custody of government.
But one of the jurors took the phone in the juror room.
How?
And the state security. And the state security, probably they were not on top of their game. So it happened.
So who should be blaming this case? It should be the jurors.
The law does not call for that. The law is
the law call for only the jurors. Only the jurors should be prosecuted. Thank you. You made your point. Thanks so kindly. Let's take more calls. The country, Liberia.
Hello.
Let's hear you. Good afternoon.
Yeah, this is about Kemuga in Corwell.
Well, let's hear you.
Here is the funny part that I have with some of the opposition. Over 5 persons were investigated. I think 5 or 6 persons. One man got free, according to you're happy. You say, okay, the other 4 persons, to hell with them. Let's sacrifice 4 persons for one man. How can that happen? The juror king, my brother, human being, there are people, they are very tricky. So with all that, I don't think people were highly intimidated that they have gone to their head 24 hours. They were being protected by the security. Other people were not really under so immense or intense pressure that they will have gone to their head. So the people, they took the phone, they sneak in with the phone. I agree, the security blunder. Yeah, I agree the blunder, but not within the case, those people can and say, hey, this is what happened. I think that they're trying to clear the thing up. Nobody don't want to see them in jail. If it don't fail it, my brother, that money too much for someone to just come in overnight and try to tamper with a few group of people and just go that way. Let the right thing be done and let build our country and start or sacrificing 4 persons for 1 person.
Okay.
1 man was saved.
Okay.
According to them, everybody happy. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Your points were very crystal clear. Let's take more calls. This person.
Hello. How are you?
Yeah, good afternoon. Welcome. Good afternoon. Welcome. Good afternoon. Hello. Seems as though where you are, the network is actually terrible. Your line is coming in distorted. We can take a few more and then we can transition to our final segment. And that will be on the recent discovery of over 100 million plus drug in our country. How is it, what's the security social ramification? 0777-959-959. Now we can take a few more on the first segment and then we can transition to the second segment. We are told that the hello. Yes.
Yeah, I was on, but my phone went off.
Okay, welcome back.
Yeah, okay. Concerning the Jewish temporary business, I don't see the reason why people saying that some of the Jewish temporary will soon some of you go back to trial, because the fact is that the Jewish temporary issues were never mounted, were never sanctioned by some of 12, even his legal team. Those things were printed by the legal team of the government. Like you ask the guy who are defending the government. Look, let me be honest with you. Liberia for all Liberians, and we should be complicit with the fact that after this government, another government will come to power. You get me? So if we are defending anything, we should defend it legally and it should be justifiable. You get me? How you say, okay, what? Okay, they put the Jews in jail. What about the police people that are guiding, that are mining? What did they do with the police people? Because I mean they were not on top of the games. And let me tell you the thing. Let me tell you that the police people, whether the police people were on top of the game or not, but this thing were played by the state prosecutor, by fire. You get me? It's not good. You will not be. That's why out of the State Department report on Liberia, the rule of law is always failing in the rule of law. Why would people doing the kind of thing in Liberia? Why? The Mayu, no, those are some reasons why our national team were denied of the issue of a visa to go to the United States because the numerous drugs issue. You get me? The rule of law is not being handled. Thank you. Have a God bless you.
Okay. We transition now to our final segment, but we're told that the National Bureau of Construction is currently in the leadership and the entire office here now in Grand Cape County having a release of their strategic plan, according to what I've heard. We could talk to the Deputy Director General if it is okay by him. We'll try our best to see whether we can get Breaking Touch Kamara, who is the Deputy for Administration there at the NBC. We're hoping we can talk to him via the line. But while we do that, the drug bust in our country is really, really major. We've had drug issue in the country. Let me do this. Okay. Right. So yeah. So we've had several drug issues in our country. It's really of a problem because Liberia is, I don't know, is it because of our problem? But the drug that was seized today, I don't want to believe that it was somehow it was brought in the country by land. But I'm trying to establish contact with the Deputy Director for the Bureau of Construction, Mr. Kamara should be on this line. Good evening, sir, and welcome. This is Kear Radio, and this is Inside Liberia.
Good evening, Desmond. How you doing?
Well, thanks for asking. Let me just do quick adjustment. You can just be on the line. Let me do this quickly. Let me do this. Just with me on the line. Let me do this quickly. Okay. Trying to get this done. Okay. All right. So it's good having you here, and I'm told that you are in Cape Mount, the entire Bureau of Concession. You people are in Cape Mount. For what reason? You want to bring us up to speed?
Yeah, thank you. We're in Grand Cape Mount, Robertsport. And today is the 21st. In continuation of the national validation of our strategic plan 2026-2030, the National Bureau of Concession.
Okay, and this plan, what is in it for Liberians? Because Liberians are concerned when it comes to concession in our country, especially the extractive industry that your bureau controls. What is in it for Liberians that could give them the excitement that they want?
Well, the National Strategic Plan, 5-year strategic plan, which align with the arrest agenda for all-inclusive development, which outline developmental priorities of this government, especially addressing macroeconomic phases of our economy, outline making concessions, holding concessions accountable in terms of complying and monitoring activities, digitizing the concession network, access to information, ensuring carry on fiscal compliance in terms of identifying revenue leakages, capacity building, and ensuring that the NBC has effective and efficient monitoring exercise across the entire extractive industry, beginning with mining, agriculture, forestry, and PPP. So this strategic plan addresses many good things. As a matter of fact, the Bureau of Concessions never had this policy document before. So under the able leadership of Director General Hassan Kezulu, he has repositioned the Bureau, and with this policy document, we think that the concessions administration will be very effective in terms of governance structure under the strategic plan implementation.
I know portion of why you are in Cape Mount is to also strategize in terms of monitoring, because one of the major challenges that the Bureau has incurred over the years, is the issue of monitoring and evaluating concession and looking after whether they are contributing to their social corporate responsibility to communities that they are currently in.
Yeah, absolutely right. The concession that we call the concession agreement, and these agreements, they are component of agreement that are enshrined in the mineral development agreement. A component of that is the corporate social responsibility, the concession responsibility in terms of community development fund, their responsibility to environmental sustainability in terms of sustainability. So as part of that, NBC role is to look into the mineral development agreement to find what the concession is accountable for, whether fiscal compliance, social compliance, environmental safety. Environmental safety is something that we do sectoral agency coordination with EPA. So this strategic plan address all of the need of the Liberian people. As you know, the NBC reports directly to the president and the legislature. And concession governance has been one of the debates in the political space, especially the governance structure from the legislature and the executive. And NBC have that statutory responsibility to execute. And that is what we are doing now to make Liberia better.
How I said there, did you invite concession companies, those companies that are into the extractive industry? Did you invite them at the validation exercise to to hear and see their reactions. Mr. Kamar?
Yeah, and the leadership extended invitations to ministry agencies and commission as far as developmental partner, the World Bank, African Development Bank, the LIFT Project, the GRZ, those entities that are engaged in concession governance priority, including the Integrity Watch. As far as we are concerned, currently in the hall, we have over 10 ministry agencies and commission, including developmental partners and some of our concession partners. As you know, the strategic plan is technically addressing leakages, and it's a document that is meant to hold concession accountable. And we feel glad that they are aware that the NBC has taken a new strategic positions to hold concession accountable. So, developmental initiative.
When you are back, what do we hope to see in terms of implementation of these great policies that you are trying to initiate?
Well, as we speak, for the past 6 months, the Director General leadership has ensured holding concession accountable, making sure to bring in an effective reporting system, capacity building reform at the Bureau. As we speak to you, the Bureau will be leaving its old office to a new headquarters that's more corporate, that is going to accommodate professionals, consultants, and ensuring that the work of the Liberian people is done. So upon our return, when this document is validated and launched tomorrow, signed, and this document is going to be shared with the president, with the legislature, with the 4 estates, with the freedom of information, and every component of the document will be implemented within a 5-year statutory period and beyond the 5 years. And that is going to boost revenue. It's going to ensure to hold concession accountable to the community. It's going to create sectoral relationship in terms of coordinations with institutions. It's going to bring to the table what we call concessions and community relations. And that is going to help the government mitigating concession crises around the country and ensuring that the LRA and sectoral institutions coordinate to give Liberia what they need in terms of concession, dividend, natural resources.
Okay, Mr. Kamara, let me not take up all of your time. You're already busy. Thanks for taking my calls at this crucial state of where you guys are, making sure that Liberia is on the map in terms of our extractive industry. I wish you guys well, wish the entire team at the NBC well as you go through this process. When you come back to town, we hope to have a lengthy conversation on the radio to look at the document in totality.
Thank you. I want to say thank you, and I want to say to the people of Ravensport, Grand Cape, man, it's a place of hospitality. I haven't been to Ravensport since I was born. This is my first time, but I see the natural creation. I see the hospitality. I see vice, natural food, organic, and I feel that I'm home, and I can say to all government ministries, this is the place that you can have a retreat and let the local economy feed the impact. And the poor Ravensport, thank you, the mayor, and to the president of Liberia, thank you for giving us the opportunity to make Liberia better.
Okay, he's the Deputy Director for Administration at the Bureau of Concession, Mr. Bakintosh Kamara, for taking his time to speak to us. Well, let's run to the drug issue, and that is where our focus is right now. Well, there has been a discovery of very major, huge consignment of drug again in our country. We are yet to settle the entirety of the $19.2 million drug that was seized. But let's listen to the Police Inspector General as he tell us exactly the entire thing about the drug, as they go on with the investigation and all of that. Where are we? How did they? I know I've been getting some calls from my source from the U.S. Embassy, and I'm told that the U.S. Embassy has played a very, very significant role in making sure that this drug bust came to fruition. That's what I'm told. yeah, we look forward to seeing what it is. But let's have a gist of what the Police Inspector General had to say about this drug bust. Let's see whether we can have it here. Let's give you this.
So now what we're going to do is to detail it, weigh it, attach the value. Then we'll have a detailed press conference. But this is just what we asked the public over the last few weeks to be patient. Investigation was ongoing. This is the collaborative effort of the strength that comes from the unity of the joint security. I want to say thanks to all of the major players, especially the National Security Agency, the DEA, the police, the EPS, everyone who have played a part in this. To the Liberian people, this is where becoming born. We said that this place was not open for cartel business, and I want to assure each and every one of you that we have the command and control of the cartel in custody, and they will be prosecuted, and people will answer to the law. Thank you. I ask everyone to please leave the tents immediately. Everybody.
This is Liberia. This is what Liberia is. So some are putting the street value at over 1 million. I mean, over 100 plus million. But the Police Inspector General said they have now weighed it to get the street value. But if you look on Facebook and see the quantity we're talking about, just by seeing it, just by your eyes beholding what we've seen, you can tell that it is a huge quantity of drug, because it was in a whole house almost filled with suitcases of drug, cocaine, and several of them, different drugs that were found. But there are a few things I want to bring to your attention. Why should we commend the joint security and our U.S. partner for the collaboration with our security forces in making sure that this particular discovery was done and the perpetrators have now been brought to book? Look, I want to believe that the second seizure of this very huge consignment of drug is almost in relation to the first that was arrested. Why do I say so? I want to also believe that these drugs that have been discovered in Liberia, the people involved, they've been able to successfully bring the drug to the country. Down to lift it for Liberia has been a problem, because there is this alarm. A lot of people are talking about drug, because go today, see the ghettos, see communities, see children, see men, see women, see girls, see boys. Their futures are gone. And so the awareness, what we've been able to do on radio, we've been able to tell our people the danger about drugs and all of that. We've been able to put the government's feet to fire. Today, the government is working towards making sure that the cartel is brought down. But how are these drugs coming into the country? Now we're finding a way to arrest them while they're here. Why are we allowing them to even come in the first place? Look, these people running frozen food areas and things, there should be thorough investigation. Look, the quantity of drug that I saw today is not the kind of drug that will come via road. It came through sea. And this is something you must take seriously. It came by sea. Now, these frozen food people, they need to be thoroughly investigated. All the people with frozen food, they're bringing frozen this, they're bringing frozen that. This is how they sneak these drugs into different containers and they bring them to the country. So there must be a surveillance at the Freeport of Monrovia. There must be a huge surveillance at the Freeport of Monrovia. What we are seeing is like there are more drugs that will be found in Liberia in the coming days, in the coming weeks, in the coming months. It's like a whole cartel and they've had a hat out. That is where they've been storing and keeping all their drugs, and they've been managing to ship it out of Liberia small until the $19 million worth was discovered. And today we're talking about 100+ million that has been discovered again today. Where are we as a country? Where are we as a country? This is serious. I don't know where you stand on the issue of this drug, but this is what it is. Suitcases of huge quantity of drugs were arrested today, confiscated, and they were taken to the police headquarters. The police have said investigation continues into this particular matter. What do you have to say about this drug issue? Let's take calls. 0777 959 959. I want to hear you on this drug matter. This country, Liberia. 0777 959 959 is the number you can call. Let's hear you as it relates to the drug issue in the country. Edmond, let's hear you.
Thank you. You know, when I listen to the IG telling us that this is why we're telling the Liberian people you should wait. We are following the case. We are doing the investigation. Then he's telling us that this cocaine today is also connected to the $19.2 million in the previous one that left the airport. Because we were not in the know that 100+ million worth of cocaine was at Dwazon. No. What we have been asking him, the government, the previous one that left, before the one was seized at the airport, we wanted to know the financier. Who are those that were associated with it? Then we leave inside, then one come further inside, then he tell you that this is what they were saying, that you visit it. Why the government official will even take Facebook congratulating DA for fighting drugs. When yesterday they talk about 100 million, it didn't even touch the soil, it remained at the port, it was seized, it was destroyed, but yet you associated with somebody. This one is in the country, gradually finding a way to export it. Another one has been discovered. You are celebrating it on Facebook. What? Look, where are we with this? So, this drug, there is no stranger that is associated with this drug. Somebody in the higher or is in the know. Nobody will not just get up and be bringing drugs in this country to keep it here and gradually exporting it out of the country. The higher or are not associated. What the president needs to do, to look in his circle, to know who is doing this thing. Because you cannot do the you America will go and look on here. Because the country in which you arrested one of them national, they are highly sophisticated when you come to drug. You talk about Colombia, you talk about Venezuela, you talk about Mexico. These are countries that America is preventing drugs from coming in to enter the European world and the rest of the world. What did they do to the Venezuelan president? He was arrested because they were in DC, destroyed out of the boat. They could not solve the problem. They got to go in and took the president and carry him to America up the president. So the trust is going to affect all of us. It's not about celebration. You have not done anything. What we want, those that bring it in the country, those that get it here and preparing it to export it out of our country. When you arrest some of these people, then to some extent, people can say, yeah, you are doing well. But for now, it worth no celebration. Thank you.
Okay. You said it worth no celebration. What do you have to say as well? 0777 959 959. 0777 959 959. Let's go back to the line. Take more calls. This person. Let's hear you.
Hello?
Yes, let's hear you. Good evening.
Yeah, I'm saying I was calling from 11th Street.
Let's hear you.
Yeah, the drug issue here, we want people to come in and help all the thing where they came in and said started us to resign and leave now. And they went to another country like Venezuela, they arrested the Venezuela person. The whole world looking at this. Why are they trying to get come to our aid and our children they are dying with drugs, abuse? And we didn't get that. Anyone want to protest, they will bring armed prayer against us. Anyone want to protest, they will bring armed prayer against us. So we are asking the American government fully before they say individual drug business. We know that American is fighting drugs too. So that they carry blood with the DNS process, the Labrador government process, the police process. So we are currently asking American government to come. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you. More of your calls on 0777 959 959. 0777 959 959. Let's take more calls. This person, let's hear you.
Hello.
Yes. Good evening.
Yeah, how are you? I'm Murphy Family again, calling from Maserado. Thank you for the topic on the discussion. The problem with these drugs, we are not thinking about the drugs because the drugs already here, but we want to know where the drugs came from and how did they enter Liberia? What are through the port of the seaport of Liberia, through the airport? We want to know what that quantity is so huge. That quantity is huge, very huge. We were talking about $19 million. We're talking about over 190 million. It's not small. It's not small. That small drugs. And those are things that putting on the red light. You getting me? I mean, Liberians, before you travel to Liberia, you gotta thoroughly search yourself before you leave that road. Because somebody might like to plant something in your luggage or something or something you're traveling with. I mean, Liberia is getting too risky. Why our government officials will continue conniving with drug traders to bring drugs in Liberia? Why Liberia should be used as a conduit to perpetrate drugs crime against other states, I mean, it's not good. It's not good. We need to take siege of this situation. We as Liberians, because the government not doing well. Just imagine we're talking about $19 million drug. Now we're talking about look. Just imagine according to the journalists from OKF, the message they took 45 minutes to load the truck, and you don't think that all of the trucks are even loaded on our police truck. I mean, it's so huge. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, my brother.
Thanks so kindly for your concern as well. Let's take more calls. This person, let's hear you. That person is off, and of course, let's take calls. This person, let's hear you.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, let's hear you.
Yeah, my name is Harrison Taylor, calling from Mount Barkley.
Okay.
Yeah, the drug issue in our country is getting so scary now. And, there are a lot of people that are involved into the smuggling of drugs in Liberia. But if you see information coming out of it, that doesn't mean that there is a lot of drugs arrested. But if there's a breach of contract between any official of the government and the dealer, then they will disclose the first thing. Is what's going on now.
Okay.
You understand? It's what's going on. Our government is friendly with too much of alien and foreigners. Even the business community, some people will become a representative as soon as they win. The first people they will go to because they want protection, or the person wants protection from them. The business community will start giving them money just for protection. All those things can cause those things. And Liberia become the epicenter of drugs. So it's too scary right now. It's too scary. So we pray for Liberia. We pray for our country.
Okay.
That's my point this afternoon.
All right. Thanks so kindly for making your points clear. Let's take this person. Let's hear you. Hello, let's hear you. Good evening.
Yeah, like it.
Yeah, good evening.
It's my school.
Let's hear you.
Calling from Puebla.
Let's hear you.
Thank you. Thank you for your show. The show is interesting, educative, and all of that. I got a suggestion.
Go ahead.
My suggestion is people are looking at government officials and all of that. And I think the case, we have ourselves a problem. We got people living in homes or in or renting from us and all of that. And when they are doing those things, then we see their companies are coming in on the huge numbers or on a daily basis, and we fail to tell government officials security. We're scared that when we tell them either they gather up or they are giving us little things, they will not give it to us anymore. So we ourselves too, we supposed to have the security to guard against the drugs entering Liberia or entering the community. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so kindly for being a part. Let's take this person. Good evening.
Hello?
Good evening.
Good evening. My name is Pascal, calling with Jimmy Carroll.
Let's hear you.
They just issued a serious thing that is affecting our society and with the young people of Liberia. But the government, we not really understand what's going on. The other one is stuck, another one coming on again. And the issue of that Venezuela Benin, that one I not just Benin, and we all want to go see where and gas. And we're gonna get that new van in Liberia. So the 18 getting the air, getting it free. So they have no issue of taking person in now, but we'll make it clear. But they just think we gotta put together and swearly that thing are affecting us and very, very harming with the youth in Liberia, more so than the future leader. Thank you.
Okay. Well, folks, we have to go home on this edition of the program Inside Liberia on Kear Radio 95.9. I'll leave you with this song. It's called Firm Foundation. This song is a real inspirational song. It got me thinking every time. Well, we're not taking any more calls. Sorry. Join us on Thursday. Tomorrow is Women's Impact. Thursday will be here. Same time, 4 o'clock to 5:55. We'll be here to bring you the program Inside Liberia. This song takes me home.